Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hunter 101. Next episode, Inventory in Store. Mountain Man here. We're going to go over the in-game store and inventory management system in this video. We're going to go into it with a little bit of detail, enough so you know how to find things, how to buy them, where they are once you buy them, and how to put them on your hotbars. We aren't going to go into details of weapon stats, for example. Level requirements, etc. We'll go into that in later videos so that I don't overload you with information to start with. So, in order to get to your store, you need to go to the nearest outpost. So, if you just started in Layton, for example, this is your first outpost. If you have just started the game, barely started, haven't discovered an outpost yet, first quest that they're going to send you to do, no matter which reserve you're in, is they're going to have you walk all the way up to the nearest lookout point. Once you activate that, it will reveal an area around it, and in that area is going to be your outpost. Okay? So, once you figure out where your nearest outpost is, go there. If you have already discovered it, you can hit M to bring up your mini-map. You can then find the icon, right-click, and hit fast travel, and that'll take you right there. If you have not discovered it and claimed it yet, well, you're going to have to walk there. But a little walking is good for you. So, once you get to your outpost, this is what it looks like. You're going to have your cabin here to sleep at, to change the time. And then you're also going to have your cache over here. Walk up to it. Hit E by default to access it. First blush, doesn't look like a lot of information, but it's going to start you off on the store tab. There's two other tabs here. You've got storage and you've got character. We'll get into those later. Character we won't get into in this video, but storage we're definitely going to talk about. So it'll start you off at the store by default. In the store, you can, you guessed it, buy things. You can buy all of your weapons. You can buy ammo for those weapons, sights for those weapons. You can get audible callers to bring in animals with sound. Consumables, including first aid kits and scent eliminators. New clothing. All this does is it makes you look pretty, and that's it. Scents to bring animals in. Now, if you're just starting out, you're not going to have any of these unlocked. Like, I don't even have all of it unlocked. Black-tailed deer scent, for whatever reason, isn't unlocked until you hit level 39. I don't know why. I guess a while back they dropped the prices on all these, but they didn't drop the level requirement. So, the level requirement on all these is really high, so when you're first starting out, you're not going to use them at all. That being said, when you do finally unlock them, using the scent in addition to other techniques to hunt is a great idea. It really will help bring animals into you. You can buy binoculars, including range finders. The first binoculars, the ones that you're actually given at the beginning of the game, straight up binoculars, no range finding. It's just so you can look into the distance and tag animals. Range finders are obviously going to tell you how far away the animal is from you, which is nice because it'll let you gauge how high you need to aim in order to offset for bullet drop. Tents and ground blinds, if you have the DLC, will be purchasable here. So, one thing you may have noticed if you played a little while is you may have gone to the store and unlocked a new weapon. I played for a while, I unlocked the 270 Huntsman, for example. Or I bought, the Razorback. Where is it? I bought it, and it's nowhere in my inventory. It's not on my hotbars. Where'd it go? When you buy an item in the store, that item is then transferred to your storage. Now, I don't own the Razorback. I don't own the Razorback because they have the Bear Claw, which is a reskin. I'm going to buy the Razorback just to show you. So if I hit buy, it's going to bring up a dialog box asking me if I want to buy this item. Click buy. I own it now. Now, if I hit F2, that will bring up my inventory screen. And just so you know, all the F buttons at the top of your keyboard will open up different menus. It's nice because otherwise you have to escape. You have to go over to the different tabs, click on it. Half the time when you click on the tab, it doesn't actually register that you clicked. It's a pain in the butt. So just use the F buttons. So if you hit F2, that will bring up your inventory. And you can see it's not there. I have my hawk edge, but I don't have that razor pack. Well, where the hell is it? Well, the thing is, when you buy an item, it doesn't go into your inventory. When you buy an item, it goes into your storage. So, if you buy a weapon, for example, you got to scroll down to wherever it is. Actually, I'm going to take this hawk edge out and the ranger out for right now. And there it is. There's your razorback. All you got to do is click, drag over to your backpack, and drop. And it's that easy. Now it's in your backpack. Pay close attention to this up here. This is how much weight you can carry. By default, you can carry 20 units. There is a skill, I believe, that allows you to carry more. Ambusher, it's pack mule. Base carry capacity by 15%. I don't know what the math on that is. And I'm not whipping out a calculator to figure it out. You can do the math. Anyway, you have to pay careful attention to that. Because if you reach a point where you've got this weapon and you've got that weapon and you try and pull out this weapon and then you want to put out this one, it's going to put you over capacity. It won't let you transfer anything. Okay, so you need to pay close attention to that. The weapons, 4 to 5 units of weight usually. The bigger the weapon, obviously, the more space it takes up. Little ones don't take up very much. You can see just by the moment you click on it, it's going to show you up here how much weight it adds. So that's how you transfer over weapons and items. I will tell you this, at this point in time, you do not need to carry ammunition on you. So leave it in your storage. Same thing with your sights. You don't need to carry them on you. Lures, you do need to carry with you. Lures take up half a unit of weight, so they don't take up very much. But, if you have 6 lures on you, for example, 6 collars, it's going to take up 3 units of weight. So just keep that in mind. It does start to add up when you've got everything to call in animals in a reserve. So, for example, in the reserve that I'm in now, in Layton, got coyote, so I'd need the jackrabbit collar. So we're starting at 5. There's black bear, so distressed fawn collar. We have blacktail and whitetail. Now, you can use the deer bleat or the deer grunt, doesn't really matter. And we've got moose. See? Added 2 pounds to it. Not a lot, but it can add up over time. Oh, uh-oh. It doesn't want to get rid of it. A little buggy sometimes. There we go. You can, of course, as I'm sure you saw, click on these bars and it will collapse these. It makes it easier when you need to get down to the bottom for your lures and things like that. Tents and blinds take up 6 units of weight. Very heavy. So with 2 weapons and other items, that's going to put you almost at 20 units. So you just want to kind of keep an eye on that. So weapon-wise, let's just say picked out a 243. Lures, we're going to do that. Well, might go for some bear today. And our deer collar. We're not going to bother with moose because the moose collar is cancer. It's almost as bad as a jackrabbit collar. So you got everything out of the cache that you want to equip. Great. Well, you have nothing on your hotbar. Nothing. You can hit 1, you can hit 2, you can hit 4, and you're going to get nothing. In order to do that, you have to actually manually put it on your hotbar. Now, this allows you to put it on your hotbar in such a way that you can access it with whatever number you want. So you're going to click on whatever category of item you want to put on your hotbar. In this case, we're going to click on weapons. It will highlight in white any item that is not currently on your hotbar. So all the rifles have the exact same icon. So if you've got 3 or 4 rifles, for whatever reason, and you don't know which ones are on the hotbar, it's going to tell you because whatever's on the hotbar, it's going to get grayed out. Whatever's not on the hotbar, it's going to be white. So all you got to do is click, hold, drag, drop. That easy. Now those 2 weapons are on your hotbar. Same thing goes for your calls. All you got to do is drag, drop, and drag, drop. Same thing holds for that. Anything that's on the hotbar is going to get grayed out. So they're on your hotbar now. These numbers will correspond with the numbers at the top of your keyboard. So So if you want to access your rifle, for example, that's in my quick access 1 slot. Just hit 1 on my keyboard. Ba-boom. There's my rifle. If I want to access the bow, hit 2. There she is. Now, by default, when you put them on the hotbar, they have nothing equipped. They have no ammunition, no scopes. You have to do that yourself. In order to do that, you bring up your inventory, you click on the item. Over on the right, underneath your description and all the stats, which we're not going to get into right now. We will get into it in a later video. We're not going to do it right now because it gets very numbery and a pain in the butt. You're going to have an ammo slot and you're going to have a sight slot. Anything you have purchased for this item will show up underneath both of these slots. And again, it does not have to be in your inventory. I can't stress that enough. It's pointless to have it in your inventory if you can access it without it. I don't know if that's a bug, and they're going to change it later on in the future. But for right now, you don't need it in your bags, so don't bother. For ammo, you got to pick whether you want a soft point or a polymer tip for rifles. I think it's a hollow nose or hard cast for handguns. And for shotguns, you have a choice of bird, buck, and slugs. So most people are going to go with your polymer tips. All you got to do, left click on it once, and you'll change what's equipped. Say you want to take it out for whatever reason. All you got to do, right click on the ammo slot, and that will take it and remove it. You do not have to remove it in order to put something else in. You can just simply click on whichever one you want, and it'll change it all day, every day. Same thing with your sights. With your sights, typically your scopes are going to be over on the right, and then you're going to have, if you have the Red Raptor, for example, you'll have that, any sort of optic sight, and then your tritium sights will be over on the left. If you have nothing equipped, it's going to give you iron sights. Iron sights just simply means looking down the barrel. This can be pretty handy if you're hunting stuff in really, really close cover. If you know an animal is about to come out of a bush right in front of you, just simply because it opens up your field of view so you can see everything around you. And also, if you have to suddenly turn, it brings everything to bear much quicker than having a scope on there. So iron sights are really good to use. To swap between your optics and your iron sights seems like it might be clunky. It can be done on the fly, though, and I will tell you that in just a second. So bring this back up, click on the item. We're going to equip our scope. All you got to do, again, just left-click on it, and it will equip it in the slot, and it'll show up on your weapon. You, again, don't have to remove any in order to equip the scopes. All you got to do is just left-click, and if you want to remove it, all you got to do, right-click. It's just that easy. So we'll equip a scope. So say we're calling a deer in, and we're hunkered down, and we know that deer is about to come out of this bush right here. Well, yeah, you can use the scope, but it limits the amount of view that you have around you. It really narrows it down, even with the low-powered scopes zoomed way back. You know the deer is about to come out, so you want to take your scope off, and you're going to go in here, and you're going to right-click, and don't do this. This is not... You can do this if you really, really, really want to. You're wasting time. It's clunky. It's a pain in the butt. Don't do this. In order to quickly and easily remove whatever optics you have on your weapon, all you got to do is hit the middle mouse button, and it will automatically take it off. It'll also put it back on, and it will put back on the one that you previously had equipped, so you don't have to worry about it throwing on something that you didn't want it to. Very handy, very quick. It's great for these really, really close cover situations. It really shines in most of Hirschfelden just because there's so much cover and forest there. There you go. So that's the store. That's your inventory management. Pretty simple, pretty easy to use. There are a few bugs currently in terms of blinds and tents as far as they disappear when you pick them up. I have noticed that if you are carrying too much weight to then handle a tent or blind, and you pick the blind or tent up, the moment that you swap to anything else on your hotbar, that item will disappear and go straight back to your storage. So let's see if we can replicate that right now, actually. So we're going to go into our storage. We're going to go into a tent. So right now, I have a blind and I have a tent. I'm going to drag the tent to my hotbar. Go out to this nice open space over here. Alright, so we're going to plop down our tent. And we're going to plop down our blind. Okay, so we're going to go into our tent, just check our weight. Okay, so if I pick up this blind, go back, check our weight. Do this. So we're at 16. If we then pick up this tent, we can then position it, and we'll be fine. But if we pick it up, let's see if it does it. Swaps with the gun, put in inventory, and it's still there, making me a liar. Try taking off the hotbar. Oh, it's disappeared. That, I think you'll find, is going to be back in the storage. It's not what I'd call a game-breaking bug, but if you're not paying attention, you know, if you're, even if it's just 1 pound over your limit, or 1 unit, sorry, it's going to put it back in your storage. There she is. So just keep that in mind. The placeable items, if you pick them up and it puts you over your weight cap, it's going to go right back to your storage. I think that's it. I think that's everything about the inventory that you really need to know. Next video, we're going to start talking about skills and perks. That's going to be fairly detailed, so it may be broken up into multiple videos. May not be, not really sure, but I'll have to take that, you know, as it comes. So I hope that this video helped you out. I hope that it, you know, illuminated you on the nuances of inventory management in the store. One thing I forgot to mention is that when you click on an item, it is going to give you a very quick blurb that will scroll by at the speed of light, and that you cannot read unless you read it 4 or 5 times. And it's also going to give you all of the stats over on the right. Again, we're going to get into this at a later date. Suffice to say, when you're first starting out, this isn't going to matter a whole lot. So don't take this into too much consideration. There's not so many weapons in the game that you really have to pay attention to this stuff from the start. As you get into it and start playing it more, then you can start to pay attention to it. But for the beginning, don't worry about it. We will get into all of this in a later video, though, like I said. That's it. That's all there is to it. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. And join us next time when we start talking about skills and perks. Take care, everyone.